Hello, it's Sunday the 1st of June, and I've noticed that the low cast sky that we've been having, I've noticed that they've been chemtrailing like no one's business above the low cast cloud that we've been having. I'm thinking perhaps that either it's a late bit of April weather. I'm hoping that's what it is. Although, you know, sometimes it's quite hard to know when they're using HAARP and when they're not using HAARP. That's the subject I want to talk about at the moment, is HAARP. Okay, HAARP is HAARP, and it basically stands for machines that they've got. They've got one in Wales, and basically what they do is they gather an enormous amount of power, electricity, and then what they do is they put it in all of these aerials. They've got football fields full of them, these aerials, and then they aim this massive voltage as a microwave into our ionosphere. Okay, and one of the telltale giveaway signs of that are these. It's these things here. Can you see the lines in the clouds? That's HAARP. That's microwave radiation. That's all these lines. All these lines, okay, that you can see in the sky now. Here, up here, all of these lines. That's HAARP. Okay, it's not a normal what do you want to call it, mackerel forming sky. Okay, this is HAARP. Okay, and it seems to be coming from this direction over here somewhere, and of course from Bristol Airport is that way, just over those trees in that direction, Bristol Airport. Anyway, you can see much more chemtrailing going on here, more here and there. So yeah, there's a big activity of HAARP, and you can see that, like, I mean, if this was normal cloud, okay, normal cloud wouldn't make a triangle like that. But can you see? You've got like chemtrails going that way, and then you've got chemtrails going that way. So you've got like a triangle in the middle. Clouds don't do that. They really don't. I mean, you've got lines going that way, lines going that way. This is HAARP in action, being used right now for weather modification, and also this is affecting our minds, the way we think. Basically, microwaves just make you feel just unhappy and down, slightly depressed. Just your home immune system just kind of doesn't really react properly when you're under or having microwaves beamed at you like this. And this is in the name of controlling our weather. It's got nothing to do with anything else, which I think is hilarious, really. There's a whole multitude of reasons why they're doing this. Some I don't really understand or believe at the moment, but I'm putting the facts about them out there. And others I totally believe in and understand what's going on. But there we go. Sunday, 1st of June. Is this what we have to expect for the rest of our summer? Being poisoned from the sky and have our weather controlled and being zapped with microwave radiation. HAARP. It stands for High Oscillate Aurora. You know, I can't remember that. You know, it's HAARP. And there's one in Wales over Bristol Airport, which is what I'm probably mistaking it for, but over Bristol Airport. There's one in Wales. It's on the internet somewhere. I found it somewhere. It's, someone put it on YouTube. Everybody, you know, here's a HAARP installation, and it's in Wales somewhere. So that's obviously coming from there. I mean, I wonder if that's where this is coming from too, Wales. You know, no disrespect to you, Wales. You know, to those of you that know what's going on, you know, they'd understand what I'm on about. It. We don't have a choice. You know, they're using a multitude of technical reasons to get away with this. One of them is that, on the 12th of 12th, 2012, our solar system lined up with the centre of our galaxy. Okay, it happened every 26,000 years, and it's happened for millennia, hundreds of millennia. Okay, and when that happens, our whole solar system, basically our solar system warms up. All the planets warm up, including ours. So this is one excuse why they, you know, doing this and being able to get away with the weather modification, blah blah blah. You know, microwave. You know, I mean, is this really the way you want your child? Okay, you know, your loved ones to spend the rest of their lives looking up and having done to them. I mean, do you want this for the rest of your life? You know, this is, you know, so the only way we're going to stop them now is by stopping them now. You know, all of us together, standing up as one person, as one world, as one people, and saying, no, look, there are other ways, better ways of dealing with this, and there are other reasons why you are doing this. And quite frankly, if you ask me, they're bloody evil and intentional. Look at it. There's seagulls around here. They know what's going on. All the birds, the bees and stuff, they know what's going on. You know, they're the ones that are being directly affected by this all the time. They can't go indoors, protect themselves with air filters and having a shower and washing this off. They have to put it with this 24 hours a day. You know. There are better ways of dealing with our solar system warming up because of equatorial mass, and there's also positive things of the equatorial mass. I'll give you a bit of history on equatorial mass. Like I said, it happens every 26,000 years. Our solar system lines up with our galaxy. The Equatorial Indians used to call it the Dark Rift, the doorway to the underworld. Why would they do that? And what does that mean? And what aren't they telling us? And now, this energy that's coming from the centre of our galaxy, okay, it's warming everything up. I think I'd start to get a bit more uncomfortable if I was on the equator, but I don't know enough about the schematics and, you know, the whole thing about what equatorial mass is doing. And I thank you, our government, and thank you, NASA, for letting us know that that's what's really happening, because of course we're a bunch of retards being kept in a big concentration camp, seduced with money and having to pay through those for oil, you know, stuff like that. So we can't really, you know, we're all stuck in here playing your evil game, trying to keep our heads above water financially, and God knows what else, you know. So, like I said, there's a multitude of things going on. I myself think I know there are better ways of protecting ourselves, mainly not living on the equator and keeping under shade a lot more, and wearing lots more you know, suntan lotion, and enjoying the fact that it's, you know, we're going to get the weather you should normally get on the equator, you know. That's what they're keeping us from as well. The radiation and all that, wow, you know, we've survived every 26,000 years. I mean, I don't know about you, but to me it's making sense that this is what the equatorial Indians went through every 26,000 years, you know. And they kind of must have got wind of this after a while. And, you know, it's all documented, you know, the whole, you know, everything changes, doesn't it, you know, it has to. And they've not prepared us for it, you know. And it's a bit freaky, I know, to think, oh my God, you know, something really horrible is happening and our solar system's warming up, and look what I have to do. I have to spray the sky with, you know, these things, and use microwave weather modification, you know, to look at it breaking up. It's horrible, isn't it? Right? we'll be breathing that in later, and that'll be giving us Alzheimer's, a whole multitude of diseases, lowering our immune system, just making us feel like shit, really. But you won't really notice it because it's so nanoparticle. It's like breathing in poison without really noticing it. I mean, you know. Anyway, so you can quite plainly see the different types of weather modification that are being used right now, with the lines, you know, terrible, absolutely terrible. On my site, I've been looking at other ways of actually making weather. I mean, if you think about it, if we can get massive things like the Hubble space shuttle thing and stuff like that, can we not use some sort of ground to air base? I don't know, not like HAARP, but I don't know. There have got to be other ways of creating a weather system. We're smart enough now. On my site is Jeremy Clarkson, God bless him. He's done, I think it was on Top Gear, and he did this program. Look, they're laying one down now, look, evil, and he got the squares. What the hell's that about, you know? And he's in NASA, he's, you know, on the range with the rockets and stuff, and they've got these rockets, the big Saturn V rockets they used to practice with, and they've got them strapped down on this little hill bank in the middle of somewhere in the wetlands of NASA, where they do their rocket testing. I can't remember the place right now. Anyway, and they start one of these up, they fire one of these up. The video's on my site, and the whole of these wetlands just turns into a big cloudy rainy marsh with big fluffy white clouds just raining, you know. They just create this whole little weather system. And I thought, well, okay, why can't we have some sort of modification, perhaps even make these really big gondolas where we can just sort of like float about, just making clouds everywhere, you know. To me, that is a good, you know, to me it's a good difference, you know. I would rather choose something like trying to make something like that work than this poison and evil that's being done for other reasons, you know. Like, look, see the stripes down there? I don't know what this is. Yeah, so to me and to everybody else, I don't know, I can feel the extra heat, and I think everybody else can, you know. It's quite searing, isn't it? It's quite, woo. I didn't know I was in the middle of the desert all of a sudden, and that must be, you know, it's where the heat from equatorial mass, our galaxy heat, is coming through. And that was the point I was trying to make, is that the energy that's coming from that, the doorway to the underworld, the dark rift, and by the way, dogs are the guardians of the underworld, with extra metaphoric symbolism thrown in, but that's apparently, and I'm just thinking, okay, you know, so if you line up with something's coming from that, and something's going to that. Trying to work out exactly, you know. And then you've got this planet Nebia, you know, the planet X, which I learned a little bit about in my school days when I was a schoolboy, just doing my own homework. You know, forgot about it. It's 1980s, and you know. Is that really happening? Is this kind of weird dwarf star, whatever this thing is, you know, coming towards our planet and warming it up as well? You know, we got double trouble. You know, all these things are floating about, and I don't really want to believe any of them, apart from the fact that what I can see and the homework that I've done. That looks. Well, I can't see my screen at the same time, but it's like, I don't know. Looks like Mickey Mouse. See in the background there, it's got, I don't know, it's got like, I don't know, it's just strange cloud formations, you know. It's So that's it, folks. We started Equatorial Mass in the 12th of the 12th, 2012. Everything's warming up, and to me, I think it's convenient that they can get away with doing this. It's just evil, and there are other smarter, genius ways of protecting ourselves against something that's totally natural, happens every 26,000 years, and we can't really get away from. I mean, the Ruskies, right? If there is such a place as Russia, if it's a country, or if the New World Order, I don't actually believe that. I think that most of the countries now have been either brought off, bribed, or intercepted with double agents, or whatever you want to call them, from the New World Order, and they're not really countries anymore. They're just New World Order conglomerates that run our whole life and do this too, but call it Russia if you want. It's getting off the mark a bit. It's like, God, what was I saying now? That's really boring. It was really important because that's right. The Russia Space Agency, they put a big fan into space. I don't know if they actually went ahead and did it, but I think they tried small trials. And what they did is they went up into space and they took this like it was a big sort of fan that could unfold like a satellite dish made of some sort of strong stuff, and they actually did it. And I don't know anything about physics and stuff, but it's like if I do this now, if I put my hand out now, that's going to radiate into hundreds of thousands of miles and cast a big shadow over whatever the sun's shining behind it. Couldn't we do something like that? Couldn't we make these big things that it's just so that there are other ways of understanding. Could we not just use microwave radiation, not microwave radiation, but HAARP, what they're doing now with microwaves? Can we use that in a different way to lower the temperature, and in conjunction with using those cloud machines that you're on my site with Jeremy Clarkson, with these big rocket engines coming out? And not only that, I think the world is mature enough now, to be informed of what is really happening, and really, since the people own the government, since they are supposed to run and have a say in what goes on, we are mature enough now to understand and say, right, okay, this is pretty heavy duty, but let's get to work and work together more, not under secrecy, but together as a nation, together as a people that understand that we're in a crisis, and do something about it as a people together, But I think, those of you out there who know what I'm on about and what I'm going to say now is that A, it's a lot of crap anyway. B, the New World Order have almost all control over this world, and this spraying this stuff has got about as much to do with keeping the sun from warming us up. It's got about 10% of that. The other 80% is another agenda, microwave radiation, who knows that they're not actually stopping us from feeling the extra benefits of equatorial mass, the wonderful radiation that's coming from the centre of our galaxy, if that's what, I don't know. Is that happening? Is it every 26,000 years, like I said in some of my other videos, we get a chance to reset? We get, even the Qing had to reset, it's like, when you press and reset, you can't re-predict what's happening, can you? It's just not going to happen. So these people making sure that as resets being pressed, as we've lined up every this 26,000 years with our galaxy, and then making sure that something else is happening instead, that the odds are not going to land in our favour. In actual fact, they're doing this for something very sinister and very evil. I mean, since I've been doing this video, I don't know if you've noticed it, I will look through, but I have noticed these globes appearing, and if you have to know that they're there first to sort of like look for them, like anything else, I suppose. But you do your homework and look on my site, fallen angels disguised as orbs, big planets, big sort of like see-through clouds in our sort of chemtrail. And I noticed that the other day, okay, whilst you're thinking I'm not going to watch this video anymore because this guy's totally lost it, that when these globes appear, I'm pretty sure the connection between chemtrails and these guys, there's a connection. It's like they need it, it's a food, and the microwave radiation makes them even more powerful. And if they can, you know, it's like on Doctor Who, you know, the angels that, you know, they need us, you know, but they can't take us directly. They need to, you know, I don't know. It's you know, the Equatorial Indians knew about all these spirits and evil angels and stuff. You know, you look it up, you see what they said, and you know, the doorway to the underworld. You know, that sounds really sinister, doesn't it? You know, equatorial mass. You know, so you know, sorry to confuse you with all the other stuff that's going on at the moment. And you probably, those of you who haven't gone into shock and self-control, carried on with their lives, which is what I did for a little while till I woke up. You know, and big thanks to all those people out there that have been fighting for, you know, for decades now against this. You know, don't know where we'd be without you, and you know, hope you keep fighting. Sometimes I think about giving up because, you know, these guys, they don't want us to know what all this is about, what's going on and stuff. They just, you know, it's, oh, you know, it's heating up and we have to do this, breathe it in and be a good person. You know, it's really quite evil what they're doing. You know, people that live by the mobile phones, you know, they have the same problem. Like these mobile telegraph poles, they have the same problem. They get, you know, they can't live by one because it just makes them, you know, negative, grey and moody, you know. And right now, like these shapes you see in the sky, okay, that's microwave radiation, and that's making us feel exactly the same, you know. We should be, if we never had this technology to stop the, you know, from us from heating up and the clouds going, and apparently part of it is because of the nuclear devices they exploded in the atmosphere in the late 40s and 50s and 60s. That's why they went to doing it underground. Poor Mother Earth. But that's nothing to her. It's just a bit like a super volcano, isn't it, really? Just apart from the plutonium, but even that's nothing to her, isn't it? She's, you know, she can take anything, can't she? But messing about with the weather and that, you know, eventually she will. You know, like Noah, you know, eventually say, right, you're not messing with me anymore. You're going to have a flush soon, but this is going to be a big flush. You know, better get this boat together, save some animals. You know, I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but yeah, or, you know, we just bear it, you know, move away from the equator, you know, find lots of shower, go to, you know, cooler inclines. I bet you only, if you did some research every 26,000 years, I bet you could watch the migration of things that went from the equator somewhere else, you know. Because if this is what is really happening, then we have to face the truth, you know. We're in equatorial mass, we've lined up with our galaxy, and there's a lot of extra radiation and heat and kind of vibrations that we don't really understand coming from the centre of our galaxy. And I suppose we're really sending it back there too. You know, it's a two-way street, I suppose. But I just, you know, I'm going on a bit, and I know I've got to clean my windows. Drawing on them now, for God's sakes. So I just wanted to get this out there anyway, so there we go, people. Sunday, June the 1st, and, you know, there's another one laying down over there. You can see now the different ways they do it as well. You know, you've got this big long one here, pretending to be a fluffy white cloud thing, and then I suppose that one next to these layings going to just spread out. And you've got these interesting ones here. Yes, and later on we shall be breathing this in, and it will be poisoning us and making us feel low. We'll be breathing in lots of aluminium particles, and then they'll turn HAARP on, microwave frequency weather control, and it will, you know, keep us in our pen like sheep. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Just wanted to get this out here. Thanks, people. Keep fighting.